Hey there folks, this is GreenyXI welcoming you right back to Let's Play Higurashi. This is episode 152. In the last episode, we had one thing to really take out of it in my opinion, and that was Uishi sort of pushing and testing Kaiichi to see if he really had the gonads to go through with going up against the Child Consultation Center and getting Satoko's situation all sorted. So now we're going to start chapter 8 and see where that takes us. I mean, we were getting a load of people together to go to the center, weren't we? But back to school. The Child Consultation Center had finally contacted Satoko's uncle after finding out she was missing from school for 3 days in a row. I'm sure it was because of our efforts that Satoko was able to come to school today. However, we couldn't really celebrate after seeing her painful expression. Satoko, we were so worried about you. Are you sure nothing happened to you these past 3 days? I really did have a fever the whole time. I am sorry for making you all worry. She started telling us why she hadn't been at school. Nobody had even asked her that. Her uncle must have told her to say that to everyone. It's so painful to see her like this. Rena seemed more angry than sad. Inside, I felt the same way. It felt like my anger was boiling up and lodging painfully in my throat. He was only letting Satoko come to school because he was now certain that she wouldn't do anything that would put him at a disadvantage. He was treating her like a tamed animal. Was it too late already? I thought of the broken Satoko I once saw in my imaginary world. Satoko, do your best, okay? Of course I will. I'm doing well, even though Nini isn't here with me. I slowly reached out my hand toward her head. As a reward for you doing your best, I'll pat your head. Do you mind? She didn't reply, but she didn't refuse either. I slowly put my hand on her head. She didn't react to it, but a tear rolled down from her eye all of a sudden. Was she crying because she didn't want to be touched? No, that wasn't it. Rather, it was the opposite. If I stopped patting her head, I'd hurt her feelings. Satoko felt obligated to survive without her Nini. But that didn't mean she didn't want anyone else's help. She couldn't appreciate my patting her head openly. Satoko had no choice but to cry in silence. Satoko-chan, we won't tell anyone if you cry right now. And after Rena said that, Satoko started crying like a baby. I felt relieved, knowing that it wasn't too late. She hadn't yet suffered from the fatal emotional wound that I saw in my imaginary world. However, her tears made it clear that I needed to save her as soon as possible, no matter what the whole world might say to me. Satoko, everyone's going to help save you. I promise you that. Satoko, we weren't just doing nothing for these past 3 days. Right, Kai-chan? Right, we're making an appeal to the Child Consultation Center. We're asking them to save you from my horrible uncle. You don't have to do that for me. It's not just us. Right, Tomita-kun? It's not just me either. Okamura and the whole class are fighting for you. That's right. We all went to the Child Consultation Center together. We're going today too. Right, Maibara-san? Yup. We're not gonna give up until we save you. All the boys and girls in the class answered my call with their cheers. Satoko seemed a little surprised, but then soon became expressionless again. Is that why the social worker came to my house? That really wasn't necessary of you. Satoko, did he hurt you because of that? She wouldn't answer. I couldn't tell what that silence really meant. Soon after, Chie-sensei entered the classroom. She must have heard the noise we were making. Hojo-san, you feeling better now? We didn't know for sure if she was really sick or not. All of us, including Chie-sensei, were feeling the same thing. Yes, I'm fine. I'm sorry for worrying you. Everything's alright now. Will you be attending school regularly from now on? Yes. You don't have to continue worrying about me. You don't have to talk to any more social workers. Hojo-san, if you feel overwhelmed, you can come stay with me. I'm on your side, okay? You're welcome at my house anytime. Hey Chie-sensei, don't act like you're the only one who can help her. Satoko, ball on your side rear. Here. That's right. You can come to my apartment too. We have an extra room, so you can use it as your own. She can't do that. Satoko is my pet. She has to come back to my house. Nipa. See? You're not alone. Everyone's trying so hard to save you. But I don't know if people at the Child Consultation Center will ever understand how we feel. If what Uishi-san told me yesterday was true, then once they learn this isn't the will of all Hanamazawa, once they learn it's only your classmates creating a stir, they might harden their stance against us. And they did in that tip when Oyu said it was nothing to do with her, right? All we had planned was to go there with more people and ask for the same thing. The Child Consultation Center was going to say the same thing to us too. It wasn't going to be any different from yesterday. They tell us that it's only normal for her uncle to take care of Satoko because he's legally her guardian. They'd also tell us that there's no proof of any abuse happening. And why do they think that? Because Satoko won't admit she's been abused. I appreciate your kindness, but I'm fine. That's a lie. Rena spoke with a smile, but her words cut sharp. You're not okay, Satoko-chan. You're not fooling us well enough. All of us here, and many more people know that you're in pain right now. That's why we're doing our best to stand up and help you. We're reaching out our hands so we can save you from your struggle. But we can't save you without you helping too. She's right, Satoko. No matter what we say to the center, they'll tell us that there's no abuse because you're denying that it's happening. We'll want to help you, but we can't if you don't accept our help. I understand. I was just like you once. I thought no one could help me. I thought whatever I was doing was the only thing I could do. That's why I didn't even accept my friend's help. But someone taught me something. I can't even remember who it was, but someone taught me something. The world you want most is right in front of you, but you won't get there unless you take our hands. It doesn't mean anything if we're the only ones reaching out. Satoko-chan, you have to reach your hand to us too. We can take each other's hands and return to the world we wish for. Rena, who told you that? I don't remember. I think I heard it before I went to kindergarten. I can't remember who told me that. But I can still clearly remember that feeling. I'm here because of what that person taught me. I agree. Whoever it was who taught that to Rena, he wasn't wrong. Satoko, do you think it's better not to ask for help? You think that's the best thing you can do? But you're wrong about that. Look at yourself in the mirror. Is that the face you want to wear? I'm sure it's not. You don't want any part of this world. We can bring you back to the world you want to live in. We're reaching our hands out. Those hands are almost touching you. But we just can't reach far enough. If we could, we'd pull you by the hair to get you out of this mess. But we can't make it. So you have to reach out your hand too. Our hand's right here. They're right in front of your nose. So take them. If you just reach out your hand, we could pull you up into a happier world. Satoko wouldn't reach out her hand. She just stared at mine as though praying for something. Her fingers were shaking, but Satoko wouldn't try to reach her hand toward mine. I felt like screaming out in anger, but I didn't want to scare her. If I did that, she'd never trust me again. All I could do was to wait for her to reach out her hand. Thank you very much. Really, I do appreciate it, but I really am perfectly fine. I really... Satoko? She needs more time. Satoko needed time to sort out her feelings, but her time limit was getting closer and closer. It was unfortunate that Satoko didn't even realise that herself. The next moment, we heard someone approaching our classroom. By the sound of the footsteps, we could tell that it was the principal. And so, I couldn't tell why Satoko was twitching like she just got electrocuted. The door quickly opened and the principal strode inside. He seemed relieved to see Satoko back in school. However, Satoko reacted both dramatically and bizarrely. She let out an inexplicable scream, ran to the back of the classroom and hid behind the curtain. This song is stunning. No one in the classroom could understand her actions. We never even considered that it was because the principal had entered the room. The principal, however, realised it immediately. Satoko was scared to see him. Hojo-kun, is everything alright? He spoke in a kind voice, but Satoko was still afraid. It was plain as day to all of us that Satoko was frightened at the sight of the principal, but none of us could understand why. Are you okay, Satoko? You don't need to be afraid. We're all on your side. My uncle is here. Everyone here thought for sure that Satoko's uncle had shown up to get her. We all rose up at once, shielded Satoko in a circle, and searched the surroundings. I had yet to see her uncle's face, but we were in school now. If someone unfamiliar showed up, I could spot him immediately. If he tried to force Satoko to leave, then forget everything else. I'd end the fight right here. Mion and Shion are thinking the same thing. However, while Satoko remained frightened, we couldn't find any sight of her uncle. Satoko was trembling as if he was already here inside our classroom, but there was no sight of him. Finally, I realised the truth. Satoko was frightened by the figure of the principal. I could understand that she'd be scared of his footsteps, but she was still terrified after he showed his face. This was not normal. It was made clear to me how much stress Satoko was dealing with. Rika-chan hushed Satoko and whispered into her ear. It's okay, your uncle isn't here. Your mean uncle isn't here. But he's right there. My uncle is there. He's come to take me back home. Calm down, Satoko. Did you take your shot today? My uncle is here. Wah. Nini. Her shot? What are you talking about, Rika-chan? Keiichi, she needs Irie's help. Just tell him that Satoko is in an emergency. Hurry up. Chie, let's take her to the nurse's office. What's wrong, Satoko-chan? Satoko-chan? Let's call the coach. She needs to see a doctor. Does anyone have his number? I do. Let's go use the phone in the teacher's office. I headed to the nurse's office after I asked Mion to make a phone call to the doctor. There were lots of students surrounding the office. Chie-sensei was forcing out the other kids who had entered the room with them. I snuck behind her and entered it myself. Satoko was lying down on the bed, still shaking with fear. Rena and Rika-chan were there with her and were trying to calm her down. I spoke quietly so as not to scare Satoko. Is she okay? What's going on with her? I don't really know, but she's very scared. She thought the principal was her uncle. Hearing that made it easier to understand, but it was still hard to believe. He had been right in front of us, and had spoken to her in such a kind voice. It was really hard to believe that she couldn't tell that it was the principal. When there's a dark spot on the wall, what does it look like to you? People who hate flies will think it's a fly. It may look like a spider or cockroach, if that's what you hate. People tend to sense something they don't like when they can't really tell what that something is. She thought of her uncle, when she heard the principal's footsteps, but she was still scared even after he showed up. The illness Satoko prevents her from correcting those misassumptions easily. What does she mean, illness? I tried to ask Rika-chan that, but Satoko was becoming even more frightened. Rika-chan held her hand tightly and tried to calm her down. Rena tapped my shoulder. She was indicating to me that we should leave Rika-chan and Satoko alone in the room. I agreed with her. Satoko was in tremendous shock. We're going back to the classroom for now. Yes, please do. Rena and I left the nurse's office. My classmates were still asking Chie-sensei about Satoko's condition. As soon as they saw me, they walked over and asked how she was. Let's leave it up to Rika-chan for now. Satoko is very frightened. Please don't do anything to make her afraid. She will only get more scared if we continue to make this much noise. Let's go back to the classroom. Coach will be here soon. He'll take care of her. You called him, right, Mi-chan? Yeah. He'll be here right away. He said to let Rika-chan take care of her, and not to let her out of the nurse's office. Get back to the class, everyone. We're going to start homeroom. While the teacher took our attendance, a car arrived on the school premises. Everyone's attention was drawn to it. 3 people with white gowns came out of the vehicle. Irie ran into the school in a hurry. We were surprised to see 3 people show up. It made us all worry that Satoko was in worse shape than we'd realised. Chie-sensei felt the same way. She left the class to Mion and hurried to the nurse's office. Despite our worries, Satoko returned to the classroom about 10 minutes later. She was still as depressed as she was in the morning, but she was no longer in a state of panic. Satoko, are you okay now? I think you should rest some more. Sorry for scaring you. I'm fine now. Satoko-chan. Satoko seemed bothered by the way we were worrying about her. Chie-sensei also returned to the classroom. At the same time, I snuck out so I could talk to Irie and his staff. I saw him talking with Rika-chan. Coach, is Satoko really okay? My boss-san. Yes, she's fine for now. We should keep an eye on her though. It was just a little panic attack. She's all good now. Just a little panic attack? You sure? You were saying that Satoko has some kind of illness. Should be going. Please call me if anything happens. Coach bowed and left without making any comment. It was like he was avoiding my question about Satoko's condition. Keiichi, can you promise to keep a secret? What? Oh, sure. Satoko's been sick since a few years ago. She's been getting treatment for that illness for a long time. It was surprising to hear that. That meant she was already sick when I first met her. I'd never seen any sign of that though. That disease can't be cured easily, but she can live a normal life as long as she gets proper treatment and medication. I see. Sounds like it's under control. I had no idea that she was sick until you just told me about it. She should be fine, right? She was hardly in a good condition, so that makes me hesitant to use the word fine. What kind of disease could Satoko have? Based on what I saw earlier, she might have a mental illness rather than a physical one. It might be because of how she was abused in the past. I've heard that mental trauma is not easy to cure. It needs medical attention at times. That must be what's going on with her. Satoko has to take 2 shots every day. Since her uncle was bullying her, she forgot to take her shot this morning. You mean Satoko becomes emotionally unstable if she doesn't take those shots? Vika-chan nodded quietly. Really? It was quite a shock. The Satoko I know is an energetic and mischievous girl who is always bouncing around like a super ball. I couldn't believe that she'd turn into a scared little animal just by forgetting to take a shot. She becomes very afraid, and when she doesn't get her shots, when something happens suddenly, or when she hears a strange noise, or she sees something unusual, she feels like they're things that are coming to harm her. So she thought her uncle came to the school when she heard the principal's footsteps. That's right. Once she convinced herself that the footsteps belonged to her uncle, that became the truth for her. Even after she saw the principal's face, her mind told her that it was her uncle. You said she can't organise information quickly enough. Is that what her illness is all about? I don't even want to know what the disease is called. I feel so bad for her. I had no clue that she'd been fighting this condition for so long. That poor girl. Keiichi, please don't tell Satoko anything about her illness. Why not? I guess I shouldn't ask. It may not be a nice thing to talk about. Her illness. I guess that's what she's trying to tell me. She came back to the classroom, but is she okay now? Irie gave her an injection, so she's alright for now. She's seriously sick to the point where she requires a doctor's attention. I realised something in the next moment. Hey, maybe we can have her be hospitalised. We can force her to stay in a hospital even if she refuses. That way we can save her from her uncle. Yes, that's a great idea. Irie suggested that before, but Satoko refused. It's not about her refusing or not. If the doctor tells her to stay... Keiichi, if Satoko doesn't go back home, her uncle is going to get rid of her Nini's room. What? Satoko feels obligated to protect the Hojo residents until Satoshi comes home. He was taking advantage of her. Teppo was telling her that he'd get rid of Satoshi's room if she didn't stay with him. That's horrible. Please don't tell anyone about this. She is not good at controlling herself, so she might get very angry about this. She brought up Shion, but I was also furious about it. I had to calm down though. I needed everyone's help in order to save Satoko. I couldn't ruin everything by acting foolishly. I had no time to stop. Damn it! If Satoko asked us for help, we could help her right away. Just because she hadn't asked didn't mean she didn't need it. As her friends, we had to help her. Especially after learning that he was controlling her by threatening to get rid of Satoshi's room. She told you that he threatened her, right? Can't we take that as an SOS? Vika-chan nodded slightly. Keiichi, we don't have much time left. That I was all too aware of. She had a panic attack just because she didn't take her shot this morning. But if she stayed in her current environment, it would be too late to save her in a matter of days. I saw her future when I saw Satoko crying behind the curtain this morning. This is the 3rd day. We have 10 times more people on our side than we had on the first day. But we're not going to stop there. Keiichi, it won't be that easy to save Satoko. I've tried many times before, but never succeeded. Really? You don't remember, but you're different this time. I think you're getting very close to saving her. I believe that you're someone who can defeat fate. What did she mean when she said I didn't remember? I didn't have time to ask questions though. Yeah, you're right. I'll defeat fate, just watch me. A huge crowd had formed in front of the library. Oh, here we go. It was hard to believe that over 50 people had assembled in front of such a quiet place. Okay, things are getting interesting today. That's my Bao-san, he's our leader today. Yo, glad to meet you. Kamida-kun had brought a bunch of athletes with him. They were all very tall and full of spirit. Being greeted by a bunch of big people at once made me feel uncomfortable. Whoops, I shouldn't feel so intimidated. The commander can't act bashful in front of his troops. Following after them were our nameless comrades who sympathised with our plight at Angel Mort yesterday. Hate to say it, but I never expected any of them to actually show up. Seeing them all here to support us made me feel glad. They seemed plenty pumped up too, raising up fervorous cries. Shrieks? Kamida-kun did so much for me. He brought not only his teammates, but also people from Angel Mort. I couldn't thank him enough. Don't worry, Kay. We're all brothers at Angel Mort. I heard from the people who went to the dessert fiesta today that the dessert named Innocent Blue Sundae is the best one. Let's eat it together this summer. Keiichi-kun, this is incredible. You gathered this many people by yourself. Hello. I never expected you'd get this many people here. Good job. Tomotaki-san, Takano-san, why are you two here? Oh, you didn't know? They told us they'd come at the meeting last night. The coach is supposed to be here too. Sorry, I made you wait so long. I'm sorry for being so late. It took me a while to leave the clinic. Wow! Coach, that's amazing. It's amazing. Coach brought some sashes, headbands, banners with him. He was so well prepared. The sashes and headbands read, Save Satoko Hojo and the Consultation Center must take action immediately. They were perfect for our protest. He had brought lots of extras along too. Takano-san and Shion handed them out to other supporters. You know, Coach, I loathe that style of yours. But you've earned some respect today. You know, I really like these things. Not all 60 of us know each other. But when we all wear the same headbands, I start to feel a real sense of unity. It feels like I'm back at the dam conflict. The people of Hinamazawa were wearing headbands and sashes just like these. It was like they were invincible. No one could make them stop. Tomotaki-san was exactly right. Even the kids from Okinamaya were willing to wear the headbands. It was like we were supporting a baseball team. Here, Rika-san. It took us a while to get all of these made. Here. I'll do everything I can. I'll do my very best to help us rescue Satoko-chan. Here, these are yours, Keiichi-kun. Felt like a field trip yesterday, but today it's totally different. I agree. I figured showing up in greater numbers would intimidate them, but this has way more impact. Bluffs really are important after all. It's just about time. Call us to attention, Captain. Captain? I'm just the person who set this up. Keiichi-kun, you need to act more like your leader. Get up there and stand strong. I walked out in front of everyone, while Tomotaki-san took pictures. Everyone went quiet and turned their gaze to me. I felt so nervous. But at the same time, I also felt really thrilled to see all of our comrades together. Oh, here. Thanks for being here today, everyone. As you know, it's been 4 days since my classmate Satoko Hojo was taken by her uncle. How can he claim to be her legal guardian? He used to beat her, he neglected her for a whole year, so he could live with his lover here in Okinamaya. The Child Consultation Center must urgently take care of this matter and save Satoko from him. However, they're putting her case on hold. They just don't understand how much of an emergency this is. Today, we're going to attempt our third appeal, so as to get them to save her as soon as possible. For those who saw Satoko-chan at school today, you should all know. She was at her wit's end after only 4 days. We can't leave her in that environment any longer. This is our third attempt. We have so many people on our side too. Let's let them know how important this is. We're not going to neglect our friend. Amazing. This really is the return of the dam conflict. My Barakun wasn't even living here when that happened. This is quite interesting. There must be something about this village that brings people together. That's just the culture here, I think. Something like this happening was inevitable. I come from a city where neighbours don't even know each other's faces. I'm a little jealous. That's a bit rich coming from someone who keeps complaining about the lack of trains. All units prepared for assault. Give us the order to lay our lives down today, Your Excellency. Press our demands. Rescue the target. Everyone, follow K's command. Yeah. Everyone had that much vigour before we'd even entered the building. They're to have heard what was going on outside. In fact, panicked looking people were staring at us out the windows. Well, here goes nothing. Ire pushed me forward and I took the first step of our third attempt with a weight of 60 people on my shoulders. We went through the automatic doors and slowly crossed 20 meters to the counter. How will they take this? The first day it was just a counsellor. Yesterday was a manager. Think we'll get the guy in charge today? I don't know. But I'm sure they'll understand just how much we care about her. Hello, how may I help you today? Same as yesterday. We're here to appeal for immediate action on behalf of Satoko Hojo. At the far end of the office, I saw the manager from yesterday talking to a guy sitting behind an important looking desk. I could tell he was intimidated to see so many people. Sean said that this was the day we'd finally close the deal, but I couldn't be that optimistic yet. To be honest, our current numbers were probably the maximum number of people that I could get. So what would we do if things didn't work out today? I put up a brave front, but internally I was nearly cracking with anxiety. But looking at the hopeful, encouraging expression on Rena's face as she walked beside me helped disperse those timid feelings. Rena might hold the very same worries inside of her heart. Everyone must be wondering if we can really save Satoko or not. But today we were supporting each other by hiding those worries. That was unmistakably our team's strong point. We could never have gathered so much energy and strength if we were alone. That power can only be created when people work together. It takes forever for a drop of water to wear away at one rock, but a tsunami can break it into pieces in a second. The manager approached the counter. He started speaking to me, saying that as the meeting room wasn't open today, he couldn't let us all into one room. However, the head of the office was willing to see us, so we could use the reception area in front of his desk. Since the room's so small, however, he asked us to choose 3 representatives to come inside. Truly sorry. We hope you'll understand this is out of concern for our visitors, and show that you're willing to cooperate. We were here with all these people, and they were only letting 3 of us inside. I wanted to refuse their offer, but Mion told me to take it. If we occupied the office with our numbers, they could fault us for obstructing their business. I think they're intimidated enough. The head of the office is willing to talk with you today. I think that's the best treatment you can get from him. They're all shaking like scaredy cats. Meow meow. Still, it's definitely a lie that the meeting room isn't available today. I think so too, but Michan's right. I think they're intimidated enough. The head of the office is the top of the whole organisation. If he's willing to talk to us, we might have to compromise as well. If we refuse to see him, that will go on the record. We don't want them to be able to claim that we've refused to talk to him. I think we should make it clear that we're here to have a conversation. It was good to get suggestions from so many different people. If it was only me, I would have just gotten pissed off and left. That was probably not the best idea. Once again, I felt how important it was that we were a team. I understand. 3 of us will go talk to him then. But who should it be? Keiichi-kun, you have to go. Other than you, I think Coach and Michan would be the best choice. If the head of the office recognises me, they'll think that this is the Sonzaki family's doing. I can't let him think that, since my family has nothing to do with this case. I'm really sorry, it's those adult circumstances again. Saving Satoko's our fight. That old hag has nothing to do with this anyway. How about you, Rena-san? You should go and talk with him. I don't mind, but how about you, Rika-chan? Me? As Satoko-chan's best friend, I think you should be a representative. Rika-chan's a quiet girl, so it'd be hard for them to understand what she's thinking. However, she's Satoko's best friend. She'd been living with her for the past year, as if they were family. She has the strongest bond with Satoko out of any of us. Alright, Coach, Rika-chan and me, we're going in. Roger, I'll get everyone under control. Mion winked at me and started explaining the situation to everyone else. Oh, so the rest of the chapter is going to be our 3rd attempt with the Child Consultation Centre. But this time we got Rika, her best friend and who lived with her for a while, and a health expert, the doctor, Irie. And obviously Maibara, Keiichi, who is going to be an amazing spokesperson as usual, I'm sure. So, this has been GreenyXI. Hope you've enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in a bit when we see how this massive build-up comes to a climax, I think. Thanks again for watching, folks. See you again in a bit.